tell us a little bit about Porter. What type of product do you all have, and what are you looking for? Like what's your niche in the market?
Yes, so our niche, I'd say, in the market, especially down here in, Maricopa County, we love homes that are, we love 5-bedroom homes and larger with pools.
Okay.
We're definitely open to looking at 4 bedrooms. And I think it just depends on what the offerings are, what the amenities are.
Mm-hmm.
People really come here to Scottsdale and Phoenix, especially, at this time of the year, because it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
They're coming for the backyard. They're coming to get out of the snow or the cloudy weather or the rainy weather. So they want to be outside. They want to be in the backyard. They want a heated pool. They want amenities like a tennis court or, of course, a pickleball court. That's, a sport that's exploded here in Arizona. They want something where they're close to areas where events happen. So whether you're down, you're up in North Scottsdale by the Princess for the Phoenix Open,
Okay.
or you're in and around Old Town Scottsdale for spring training that's happening now for the Giant Stadium and the Diamondbacks, or you're close to South Scottsdale where there's ASU and there's football games being played. So anywhere, any home that's close to places where there's events happening, we love those.
Okay.
Homes that have amazing amenities like great backyards, and then of course your nightly rates are dependent on occupancy.
Okay.
And so we really try to balance the bedrooms versus bathrooms, and we really look at the neighborhood to be sure that we're being good stewards to our neighbors.
Yeah, that's great.
And to be sure that there's not a lot of cars being parked, that we're respectful to the community overall.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
To tell all the neighbors who's managing
Okay.
the home. We give them a contact number, an emergency contact number. So there's a lot of visibility. There's the license numbers that are on that letter.
That's great.
And the short-term rental license is posted in the house, as well as a emergency exit map. So we really, like I said, are good stewards, I think, to the neighborhood, to be sure that, people know where to go, how to exit a house.
Yes.
But then also the neighbors, if they need to make any, if they feel the need that they need to contact us, our number's right there. We do take calls 24/7. We need to respond within an hour.
Okay.
So we, with the amount of inventory that we have, like I said, we want to make sure that we're, following all those.
So something I do like about Porter, about y'all, and something I've noticed since the beginning, I mean, y'all's polish is next level. The processes and what you just alluded to and how you're spelling out, okay, this is what you have to do. And there's so many steps and pieces that have to do to make it right.
Yes.
And you all seem to really have that down. Well, I mean, we do have it down.
We do, but there's things that change over time.
Totally. Yeah.
As you know, in your business, you find things that maybe not work. We had Booking.com at one point, and we got rid of it. Now we're bringing that back on.
Okay.
We have a tech stack that's really great in terms of having my coworkers that are inspectors, that are taking a handheld device and going, okay, there's the barbecue is clean, which seems incredibly mundane.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're going back to those
Totally
pictures.
Get it.
You're looking at those pictures and going, okay, I see that there's a barbecue. Well, my assumption is that the barbecue is going to be ready to go, right?
Yeah.
So something so simple as that to ensure, all the way down to the batteries and the remote controls, right, for the TV or the Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
So just little things like that. So we inspect the home after every single reservation to be sure that we're catching those things.
Okay.
And that house is set up so that person that originally booked it, they're seeing, okay, that's what I remember seeing in the pictures, and okay, we're here. We market our homes on many websites. We just started up with Booking.com again.
Okay.
I think we're in so Airbnb has a superhost status.
Yes.
They look at it every quarter and they reassess every quarter. So
okay. Oh, it's quarterly that they do that.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are bird dogging those reviews as they come in, going,
Mm,
okay, if this is a 4, what could we have done better, right? What do we need to do to, catch certain things, or, how can we work better with our, with our vendors, our pool vendors, our landscaping vendors, our pest control vendors? How can we work better with them and more efficiently?
okay.
And so, having that on, that team, on the ground, going through and looking at the homes after every reservation. I have coworkers that are sitting in the office that are homeowner relations that are taking that information from the field
Hmm.
and, relaying that to the owners in real time. We have, part of our tech stack is Breezeway, but then it's also Slack. So there's that instant messaging that really there's not a lot of time between getting it from the field
Yeah,
to
you're
the
just
owners.
boom, getting
Right.
things taken care of.
Right. But a lot of our owners, really trust us to, take care of the house.
Heck yeah, I'd expect so.
It's
I
you
mean,
I mean,
shoot.
you have to. There's so many
Yeah,
things that, when you have, that transient group of people that are
yeah,
visiting 4 to 8 times, let's say in a month in the high season. Oh man, you've got you've got to be ready for anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff's like next. I so appreciate what y'all do because
Yeah.
it's like
Thanks. Yeah.
the churn and like how many steps and pieces and people are involved in having to make that happen.
Right. Getting into the house, something so simple as, the guests being able to locate, is the walkway lit that they can get to the house? How,
Ah,
is
yeah,
the address, the numeric address, is that easy? So you kind of have to think about, a couple of different things when you're vetting and, having that conversation with the owner. Okay with your home
that's
sitting vacant?
yes.
Are you okay with money going out and not
Mm-hmm.
coming in, and at least not offsetting some of those expenses? So long as we understand that the goals of the owner,
Mm-hmm.
then we can go, okay, this is, so the projection that I'll give is really for 365 days out of the year,
That
right?
makes sense.
We break it down by month. There's a gross amount per month. But when it comes to saying, okay, wait, hold on, owner says they're a little more discerning. I only want, X amount of dollars per month. Okay, well then that projection that I gave you, gosh, I'm not sure if we can get to that goal.
Wow.
So it's all about learning just
Yeah.
what their overall,
I
goal is.
I didn't realize how much you all focus on the dynamic pricing and how big of a job that is.
Oh,
Like I had no idea. Like I knew it's a thing, right? But seeing how much time, like that sounds like a serious bit of value that you all offer. Like it's kind of understated
well,
because I've never heard you say that before, and I,
and it's great because in my experience, just with working in the business, there was a lot of times where, as when you're in sales, you want to be able to bring everybody involved that affects the service,
okay,
to be able to have a seat at the table in terms of, okay, this is why Amy and Mallory in homeowner relations does their job.
okay,
There was a time where I couldn't introduce my rates analyst to the owner to have that conversation. And Dean is amazing in that his family was in the business in the Oregon coast.
okay.
He was involved in operations. He was involved in sales, and now he's doing rates. And so I bring him. Start to have these conversations with owners, and I say, well, let's get Dean involved, and he can really get in and really get deep and dirty with those numbers and
The numbers
why.
guy, yeah.
Hey, you want X amount of money? Well, this is it could work at this time of the year, but maybe not in other times of the year. And I don't think there are many companies that have that owners have a direct access to Dean.
That's great.
I mean, I feel like he's my secret. It's my secret weapon, I guess. Not weapon,
Yeah.
but just
No,
it's
but I
just
mean,
like it's just he's such an asset. I
I,
mean,
I can
I
totally see
appreciate
that.
him so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
It's like as an owner who that second investor that you're talking about who's looking to, capitalize on the best, keeping the thing full, right? It's like, what does that look like? Well, you got to have dynamic pricing and
Yeah, the
it's got to be
websites
weekly.
won't.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
they'll
Yeah.
like go, okay, yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. Thank you. I didn't realize this was going to be a master class in short-term rentals. Thank you.
Such a ton of stuff, and I've just covered Scottsdale, and I've just covered Scottsdale and Phoenix. Sedona overall is up.
Okay.
And we're actually doing better than Sedona is up, 14%, and we're doing better than that. And Flagstaff is 8. I thought it was 10, but it's up 8%.
8%. Okay.
We're also in Texas. We're also in Galveston,
Okay.
and that market is a little flat.
Okay.
I don't know if it's just that there's just so many short-term rentals, and that just could be, just oversaturated.
Yeah.
But I was talking to my coworker out there. We had a sales meeting, and she was saying she's going to be interested to see what happens, after the summer, because
Okay.
Galveston, it's an hour from Houston. It's a beach community. Everybody's coming there, for the summertime. So it'll be, she was, some of those, homeowners that put their home on the market for short-term rental, could consider, maybe putting it up for sale.
That makes sense.
And Arizona was booming as far as short-term rentals. People were coming here.
Let's get a short-term rental. Come on. Everybody's doing it. We're going to make all this money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally,
There's a lot that
totally
goes
know that vibe.
into it, as you've heard me say. There's many balls that we're juggling in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just me. I mean, I can tell you that I am, the success of Porter is all equal parts, and what my coworkers that inspect the properties do, and Mallory and Amy and Dean and Sierra and Tony, they make me look good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you all are definitely running at the highest level here in the Valley, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't see many, if any, that are doing what you're doing. And I mean, now knowing what Dean's real job is, like, legit, I knew he was the numbers guy, but I didn't know that he's flipping, crunching them and reevaluating for dynamic pricing every week. Like, that's a full-time job.
It is.
Yeah. Like, that's worth your service and your all's fees. Like, just that piece alone to keep the place full. That's legit. All right, cool. You've offered some awesome nuggets. So thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you, Ed.
Cool.